You are welcome to your favorite program, The Political Arena, here on Energy Wave Media, where we look at what is happening in the world of politics from local to international. We are dealing with Nigeria, the whole wide world. So this morning, I have a guest in the studio with me who will be doing a lot of things regarding this program today. I'm very happy to welcome on board Mr. Mustafa Olalekan right in the studio with me.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Okay. Thank you very much. This morning we'll be looking at what is happening in the world of politics in Nigeria. There is a law, there's a judgment in town yesterday that was pronounced by an high court regarding the timetable from INEC. So you understand me now? So we want to look at what is the implication, what sides are we taking, what general overview of this judgment that was pronounced yesterday.
Well, the judgment is a sign to show that our judiciary is actually working and they are listening to people who have concerns about what INEC is doing and how the democracy could be of benefit to the masses. But don't let us forget that INEC has a reason for setting this timetable, and the timetable is meant to address the concern of Nigerians about the issues after the primary and all that. So definitely INEC will appeal. I will just advise those who be on the positive side of that judgment to know that there are timetable given to them. The timetable states what needs to be done at every point in time, and if they have to work with these judgments, they should consider that INEC has more like 70% to 80% final say on it, and they would also interpret it to favor them.
Okay, Mr. Lekan, I want us to make an emphasis on this. You know that in Nigeria, when the judgment is being pronounced, both parties or different parties take side of how this thing is going to be for them. For example, now I could see that ADC has been pronouncing that okay, it is a win-win for them because they believe that people might want to cross-carpet. You know what was in town before was that it has actually stopped the chances of cross-carpeting from one party to the other. APC was saying that okay, this is good. It will bring more people from the ruling party, APC or the PDP or whatever, to come to their party. Whereas the APC was saying that no, this one is not just for you. It's only adjusting the timetable, not giving you chance, maybe not disturbing the ultimatum of 21 days before the primary elections in this party. What do you say to that? Yeah,
actually, it's something that is open, and that's why I said all those ones that sees it as an advantage to tread cautiously, because INEC gave this clause of submitting the membership 21 days ahead of the primary.
Yes,
so even the register, sorry, ahead of the primary result. So if you now submit a member who participated in this primary and now cross-carpet to your party, and you flag that person to be your flag bearer in any election, you don't know what INEC has intention doing for setting that, because if you're a member of a party before the primary and they submitted the list as part of them, and you went to another party again after you've already done primary, so how do you want to be in the two party at the same time? So these are areas that there's no much clarity on how this will be handled, and that could be used against anyone who falls to that trap. So it means they have to tread cautiously.
Okay, looking at this, we know that one way or the other, this one will affect the build-up to the general elections by the preparation of INEC towards this 2027 general election. Now, don't you think this one is going to bring a very bad setback to the already planned preparation of INEC?
No, it's not a setback, because there are timetables stated when parties will submit the final list and when all disputes needed to be settled. So INEC too, they are watching, they are seeing what is happening, so they also will be coming up with press release on what they need to do and information about that. So we don't need to preempt them. I know definitely between now and Monday we'll get a response from INEC to state what is going to happen to anyone who fall into this category. So it's a matter of INEC having the capable set of people,
to defend
in
them.
quotes, arguably, that would decide what they need to do at every point in time.
Okay. No, let's give a finger cross on that. We still be looking at the update that says unfold. Now let's look at the preparation towards the election. Let's look at what APC, the ruling party, what they have done so far regarding their primary elections. Let's make a review of the primary elections starting from the House of Representatives that was done on Friday, Saturday, as the case may be, down to the one that was just concluded yesterday, the governorship election, the primary elections. You have been following this back to back. What are the take home that you've seen? The flaws, the flops, and the goods that has actually occurred in the course of these primary elections. Are you seeing something positive coming out? Don't forget that this one will be a testament of the main election. What is to this?
Yeah, what I see is APC is just trying to play the game of politics.
Okay.
And every one of them is doing so. What are they looking at? Who will be able to convince or has that grassroots impact, or to be able to drive vote from the grassroots? That is their focus, and that is what they are working on. If any party wants to bring any flag bearer to be in the ballot box,
okay.
I mean the ballots, they need someone who will be able to command the local, then someone who has less issues that could drag them back.
Okay.
Someone who has less concern about people's perception, because we cannot leave sentiment out of it. There are sentiments they will look at, doing their own background check and see,
yes.
Okay, how does this person has acceptance, and they will that's why they talk about consensus rather.
Okay.
Consensus is on the ground. Even if they do primary, they must have done consensus before coming to the primary. Everyone already know what they need to do. So it's just the primary is just a result of what has happened on the ground. So it's not a surprise.
Politics is a game. I know that. Now let's look at this from this angle. Let's take Oyo State for instance. During the primary elections yesterday, when I was looking at the updates, maybe from the earliest of yesterday, we learned that the former minister of power, talking of Chief Adelabu Bekelemes, was taking the lead in the morning when the election started. But late yesterday night, maybe in the evening, we just heard the news that okay, with a very wide margin, about 500 plus votes against maybe 19,000 of Chief Adelabu, Senator Sarafadin Abiodun Ali take the lead. What do you say to this?
Yeah, that is why they call Oyo State as the capital of politics. Political capital of Nigeria, because you cannot predict, mostly Oyo State, Ibadan, besides you cannot predict what is happening there. It's just that Wani Ibadan Lumo, Molaipo. So they've actually showed
Ibadan is very dicey when it talks about this election.
They've actually showed the Laipo in Ibadan. So, and when we look at it, it's before now, I can say I'm not really surprised because of how Senator Sharafadi Ali came up in the contest at the beginning. Because he was not really one of those that many people are looking at to be the primary
maybe an aspirant
at all. So all of a sudden we have it, and I know for him coming into the game, there is a reason.
Okay.
From the beginning, and they have it. So only that the Honorable Adelabu, he's just trying to
maneuver his way.
Show his way that he has the community, he has the people around him and all that. But the party shifters know what they want.
Okay.
And irrespective whether we like it or not, they have a significant role to play in having who is going to be the flag bearer.
Now let's look at it from this angle. You knew that Chief Adelabu contested last election under the Accord Party.
Yes.
Before he was appointed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be the Minister of Power. Now, he moved back to APC. You know that?
Yes.
Now, he now came back now that he want to contest the elections. Though we have a lot of information, maybe I must contest this and that, or maybe I have a backing of the presidency. With another quarter saying the presidency is not backing anybody. Now, looking at what may have caused the failure on the part of Chief Adelabu in this primary election, can we actually link it with the post he had in the cabinet of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Minister of Power? Maybe the failure of the power sector, maybe it's having an influence on this election.
Well, that cannot be proven. As a scientist, we cannot prove that yet, but we can have something that move closer to that, because we can't zero that, because so many, one of the things that politicians use to work, that works against the masses, or they use against the masses, is that they give us the information we want to hear. And we have many people that are even lazy about verifying certain things, but once they hear and they heard from someone they trusted their judgment to say, okay, this person said this, and they believe it. So the information on Adelabu is the cause of the power outage, is this and all that, as the minister definitely is responsible for that as a minister, to know what is happening within the power sector. We can't take away that to be one of the contributors to this current defeat that he had. It could be part of it, but it's not the only part.
Okay.
But APC in general may see it as a way of a counter to him if he become the flag bearer, that they will find it hard, struggle with it, with the local people or people who are affected with the power situation in the Oyo State election.
Okay.
So it could be their own reason for going for that.
Now, before we leave that primary of APC, we all knew that during the primary elections before, they used to use the delegates for voting. Now, with this course that Sharafaddin Abiodun discussed in this election, I told you that the margin, we are all aware that the margin is very wide. With the score of Sharafaddin Ali in the primary election, do you think this is actually represent a score point for APC, in the sense that is the scores available, achievable in the main election? You can imagine someone who scored over 500,000 in a primary election. Can they actually achieve this? Or are we saying that? Do you think these scores, are they realistic? That is my point of contention.
That is actually within their party. This is a party election that we had, which is the primary. The main election will have so many other factors that determine it. Considering who will be the candidate from other party, that will matter. If they bring in someone who is highly technical and be able to drive down his point on how he wants to transform Oyo State and what value he's going to deliver to the masses, you never can tell. Politics is so dynamic that you cannot predict. If the player then knows how to play his game, okay, then it could be that difficult for them to capture the masses. So it depends on who other party is flagging and what is the antecedent of that particular person. What is the level of is that person a technocrat or a core politician? How is the person able to convincingly drive down his points in his manifesto about what it tends to do with Oyo State? And that's what will determine how APC is going to run. Then don't forget, the federal also will have impact. Or how the people see federal government in terms of delivering the dividend of the democracy to them. What impact? How is their life being under the APC administration? How were they able to tell them what they've been doing and to tell them maybe there is light at the end of the tunnel, as we always say? So it's a function of all that.
Okay, moving forward from that, we have some states that are having their off-cycle elections.
Yeah.
That is the election that are not holding when
Ekiti
and Osun states, they are around the corner. By June 20, it state will be holding a governorship election. How do you see the political parties' preparation with all we are seeing in the media, on the social platforms?
Well, I can say that for now, if we look at all the political party, the only political party that still probably has its way is APC, because of they are still relatively coordinated compared to other parties. So and that would also affect the gubernatorial, whether we like it or not, because who is national leaders, who are the people that they are looking at to coordinate or be the representative at the polling unit. So only that it could be relatively local as well, because irrespective of who is there at the top in the states, they will have who they have, and the, like I mentioned, the person in question, because now people are drifting more of the person in the ballot than the party sometimes.
Okay.
When it comes to
the personality,
local, the personality of who is there sometimes actually have an impact. So it depends on that. And if we look at what is happening in Ekiti, we can say that APC is relatively stable.
Okay.
Compared to other states. We've not had much news about the mediocrity, or probably they are not delivering. So it depends on what the masses actually wanted.
Okay. Looking at that, well, let's dwell on that Ekiti state election. One thing baffles. Actually, day before yesterday, they serve the 30 parties signed a peace accord. And it's under the PDP. We have Dr. Wole Oluyede contesting. Now the fear is this: even at that, PDP is feeling that the candidates we knew that should, in case PDP win the elections, with the problem they have at their national level, don't you think judiciary can still take it away from them if it's challenging court?
That's one of the cases that most of the candidates coming under the PDP will have to face. But irrespective, it seems, since most of the people that are even causing the issue within the PDP are moving to other party, it seems like PDP is getting settled. So only those who have that courage to stay probably could have a control over it, and because there hasn't been any judgment to say who owns what and who is. It's just they ask them to maintain status quo, and status quo could be defined in a different way.
Okay.
So that one is something that cannot be decided now until maybe the courts post-election. Okay. There might be post-election issue if peradventure PDP wins.
Yes. Now let's look at this. We have the presidential election in the corner, the general election in the corner as well. We have kidnapping, gruesome killings, radical insecurity is very tense in the nation now. Don't you think this is apolitical, or how do you feel it?
Well, I don't want to believe it is apolitical, because this has been ongoing even before the APC administration, and it's just because the government are not being conscious, and they are not actually doing the right thing. Let me say it's the right thing, because we have issues that we've seen a sign that this thing is going to happen, and these people are gathering momentum in terms of those who are doing kidnapping and all that. If government wants to take charge, they know what to do, and there are errors that are being made about discussing tactics, or maybe how far they've been able to capture this, because I believe security should be something that will be confidential. If we achieve the result, we'll say the result, but not how we'll get the result. So those are the things, and there are people who work internally against the military to achieve this success. So it's just about government being conscious and taking it beyond this level they are taking it. So, but it's going to affect whether we like it or not. We can achieve a landslide result, despite all other parties not being in shape. APC may not achieve a landslide. It could be very difficult.
Okay, in a nutshell, what you are saying is that this issues on ground, the insecurity and the killings and kidnappings, is going to have a negative effect on the chances of APC being the power, being the political power in power.
Yeah, they will, because other parties are looking for areas of inefficiency to capitalize on that and tell them they are coming in to correct what this party could not do. So we can't throw away that. So it depends on how two parties can actually, or let's say the parties can argue that point, and how the Nigerians can be convinced with the result they are getting. Because what Nigeria wants is a safe environment. They want a situation where they can actually travel to wherever they want and get there on time safely. So it's just about.
Before we go, what should we expect, or what should we think the good manifesto for whomever really makes business of making Nigeria a great nation?
Okay, I always say it's that the manifestos that we are getting does not really tell us how they want to achieve, or they will just tell you we'll ensure by the time we get there the security will be superb with this. How do you intend doing that? What are your strategies? What are the things you want to do differently? Because if you tell me you're going to build a duplex in one plot, or maybe in a 50 square meter, you tell me how you want to manage the space and all that. I need to know. You have a plan. You said you want to travel this. How do you want to achieve that? So most of them will tell us what they want to do, but we don't have to. They don't tell us how they want to do it. So these are challenges that we have with the leaders when they come up with manifestos. Those questions, they couldn't answer it. So that is why when they get there, they tell us, they promise this, now they are having issue. You know this problem exists. You must have studied it before getting there. So it's about telling us what they want to do, how they intend achieving it, what impact does it have on the masses. It's just like someone telling us that why would a reporter be asking him what is the impact of his project to the masses?
To the masses, yes.
So shouldn't someone ask the impact? You that you want to come up with a project, why you are coming up with that project is you know it's going to have a positive impact on the masses. So if it is not, that project is not
viable.
It's not viable.
Even in academics, before you can say that you want to carry out a project or maybe research, it's more solving a problem.
You solve a problem. You identify a problem and you want to solve a problem. Then you now tell us how you want to solve the problem. We're doing that in school, but why is it difficult for the politician or our leaders who are having the whole country not even doing research, going into a trial and error without a proper plan?
Okay. Now, dwelling on that manifesto, we have some governors, the president, senators, who might have been maybe governors who is about completing their first term, still contesting for second term. Don't you think we should always give a chance for a scorecard that, okay, this is what you have done in your first term? Can this, if we have a scorecard that, okay, this should allow you to contest again, or because you've performed woefully. For instance, there is one rep in Ekiti State who people tell it to his face, you have done nothing, practically nothing. They show him the scorecard and he still want to contest again, but he was dragged out even from his party. Don't you think it is high time we try to embrace the scorecard to ensure that those people who we are electing are really there to do good business?
Well, the scorecard is left for the masses to do it. I can tell you that we believe politicians have their way in, but we are the ways they are using to get in. If you feel we need this change, we can drive the change by voting them out. Let your vote count. Don't sit at home and say they've already written the vote. You know that you sitting at home is one of the reasons they're able to write the vote, because you are part of those registered voters who will give that gap for them to fill a gap that will take them in if you are not there. So those people they want to use, that they've been able to convince either through material things, will go there and vote. Since you are not there to counter it, then they will have the way. So it is we that will tell them we don't want you. because you did not do well, and we did not, even if they brought anything to you, you know that you should not allow that to take away your own conscience. Your conscience should be there, that if you are voting for this person because of the manifesto is saying, so definitely you can boldly tell the person, I said, I did not vote for you because of anything, or I didn't collect anything from you. I voted you in because of your manifesto, what you think you want to do. So you are not doing it, I don't want you.
Okay, now before we go, I want us to actually iron this out. You know, during the campaign of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he made some statement that if I don't do this, if I don't do that, don't vote me.
Yes.
But he's still coming back.
Yeah, it's left for us to decide. Okay. It's left for us to decide and ask that question. This is your statement. Okay. Why are you coming back?
Okay.
Since you said so, he has shown it to us. If he gets that vote, it is we that voted him. It's not him that put himself there. Okay. So he can justify himself by saying that you voted me in because I was able to convince you why I could not achieve this. So and in life we set a budget. So a target. If that person were able to achieve 60 to 70% of what he said he wants to achieve, we'll know that okay, this person is on the way. So it's now for us to know what is percentage of deliverable within that period of election, of administration. So it's now for the masses to judge. His performance, has it been able to convince us to say that he should come back again? We will now be objective to look at it economic wise. We will look at it as okay, institution wise, is he trying to set up an institution that will be able to drive itself, or is it just something that cannot sustain, that is not sustainable? Okay. Or is it something that if another administration comes around can just change things? Because what we need is institution. Most countries that work is because there is institution that ensure that whoever gets there follow that particular standard that have been set, or procedures. So and they always believe in process. Okay. But in Nigeria, we believe in miracle. We believe in something that will just happen one-off. We don't believe in process most times. So we just need to work with process and set that standard.
Yeah, Mr. Mustafa Aliko, thank you very much for coming on the show this afternoon. Before you go this morning, I want you to just give the entire populace a just piece of advice, just in 30 seconds. Advise Nigeria in order not to miss it the way we have been missing it in the passing quotes. Just give an advice to all the voters.
What I would say is Nigerians should seek for information, knowledge about what is happening around them, and we should not just take every information hook, line and sinker. We find out, we confirm what someone tells us to know this person has really done well, what they claim to have done, what impact is it having, is it something that okay, it's a pain we're facing now, next maybe a few years we'll have that benefit. If that is true based on our judgment, then so be it. But don't listen to someone to say, hey, go and vote for A because A is this, go and vote for B because B is this. You to do your own verification and vote based on your conscience. So by the time the person is not doing well, you can say it to the face and say, I vote for you because of what I believe you want to do for us, and this you've said. So you did that you are not doing, will vote you out. Thank you very much, Mr. Mustafa Aliko, for coming out to the program this afternoon. And we believe that anytime we call on you again, you'll be there for us. Very well. I'll be available. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, every one of us watching from home. Please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms, the Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and the likes at Energy Wave Media. Once again, my name is Afolabi Victor, your anchor on the program Political Arena on Energy Wave Media. See you next time. God bless you.